Hi, guys. Things were a little weird there for a second. So we're going to take a break on readings. Just for a minute, I want to talk about something I posted the other day. I put up a picture of myself and talks about how I did some shadow work earlier this week, and kind of in the last weekend, around the anger that I was holding for myself and the cancer diagnosis that I received this year. Amongst other things, I think there was a lot of anger coming up inside of me, and I wanted to talk with you guys about it because I know a lot of people are angry right now. We're just tired as a collective, as a community, as a society, as the entire world. It's not even just the United States, I mean, we're talking everybody is tired. This pandemic and all of the things that, the social uprisings and the making sure that justice is happening and people are being heard. It's exhausting. And in the middle of all of this, needing our voices to be heard, we don't even know who we can trust anymore, because now we're seeing people who were not there for our best, our best intentions. They did not have the best of intentions for us. And they only had the best intentions for themselves. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that in people. We're seeing that in people that we've been around for years. We're seeing that in people we've been around for decades. We're seeing that in parents, friends, relatives, business partners, relationship, anything, right? And we're coming up on this time where Venus is going to be retrograde in Capricorn. And we're already recognizing, as Jupiter gets closer to Pisces, where our boundaries need to be and where we need to have tighter boundaries for ourselves. But what happens when we have tight boundaries for ourselves and then we're not open to the love? We build walls instead of having healthy boundaries. We build walls because we're just tired. And I think that's where I found myself earlier this week. And I think a lot of people have found themselves where they are. And man, I love the well wishes. You guys, it just warms my heart every time somebody sends me love or sends me well wishes for the stuff that I'm going through. And people tell me that I'm just going to beat it. I'm going to beat it. And I believe I will beat parts of it. But this is so rare. It's such a rare cancer that I have that it's not really necessarily something that you beat, but you learn to survive. You learn to live with it. Like I will constantly be a survivor. I will constantly be surviving over and over and over and over again with this because it doesn't go away. It's not one of those where you do the chemo and you magically make it go away. It's not even the cancer that could kill me right now. It's the symptoms that the cancer makes that could kill me right now. So it's a very weird existence to be in because I appreciate the well wishes. And I know parts of this I will beat, and parts of it I will be able to say, oh, wow, at least I didn't have to go through that part. But I know the reality of it as well. And so I try to sit kind of in the middle of it with the positive and the optimistic and the hopeful. It'll be longer than the 25 years, they say, that those kinds of things. And I kind of came to that place for myself. And I know that whatever I'm saying in this moment is hitting somebody who has a chronic illness, whether it's multiple sclerosis, whether it's diabetes, whatever it is where you feel like you're a prisoner of your own body. I know the fibromyalgia people out there, where I know that you understand what I'm saying when I say it is not something that gets better, but it's something you just survive every day. So you get angry about it. And I will be emotional, by the way. It's starting to happen already. So you get angry about it. And rightfully so. Rightfully so, because none of us grow up in life hoping that we get some disease that's going to torture us for the remainder of our years. Nobody does that. Like nobody thinks about that. That's not something that we deal with on a daily basis unless you're born with something like that. But nobody who has had a relatively healthy, I don't really know that I've ever really had a healthy life, but that's just not something that you think you're going to have to go through. So you get angry. And in the love and light world, man, I wish that it were just easy to be able to say, just love and light yourself through that anger. Just love and light. And I tried, man, and it made me even more angry. It made me so angry that I was like, that love and light is just bullshit. It's not, nothing is going to be able to love and light this situation away from me. And so I had to sit with my anger and I had to witness it and I had to let myself understand it. And I think that that's where we kind of get it wrong, is when we try to make the anger go away and make everybody think that we have to be happy about whatever the fuck is happening to us. Like that's not something that is normal and natural. What's normal and natural is to be angry about the situation that you're in, because it's rightfully so. Nobody deserves the things. So why do we have to go through it? People are like, well, what's the point? And I asked myself that. Believe me, I was in that position. You go, what's the purpose of your life? What's the point of this? If I have to have this terrible disease for the rest of my life and every single day, like the day before was the healthiest you were going to be, right? Like it's not about me being healthy as I move forward. It's about yesterday was the healthiest my body's ever going to be. So what's the point then? What's the purpose? I don't really know that I found that whole answer. And I feel like the audacity of me to even put myself in a position to answer that question. I feel like the universe, source, the thing that we connect to, the thing that makes us all one. I think that's where that answer comes from. What's the purpose? What's the point? I think our role is just about learning what it means for us, learning what the journey means for us personally. And a lot of people that are in this position, example, Robin Williams took his life. And a lot of people in the position feel like that's the way to go. And I would be lying to you if that was something I didn't think about. However, I know for myself that that is not the road that needs to be done. So I want you all to understand, those of you who I am talking to, that you're not alone. And I think that that's the hardest. I think that's why we get to that point sometimes, is because we feel so alone in the process and we feel so alone in the anger. So sitting with yourself in that anger and really witnessing it and allowing yourself to vent and allowing yourself to scream and allowing yourself to cry and allowing yourself to say, this isn't fair. And, think of all of the things in your past that you want to blame it on, right? And you know that it's not going to change or get better by blaming anything from your past. But if it makes you feel better in that moment and that's what you need to do, then that's what you do. And then you remember who you are. And you remember that anger doesn't control your life. You control that emotion. The anger does not control you. But I think that without witnessing it and without letting yourself sit in it, and so many people who have lost people this year and last year, and just the amount of anger that the collective is holding right now is like a pressure cooker. And I feel like if we keep trying to not discuss it, and if we keep trying to push it down, and if we keep trying to act like it doesn't exist, that pressure, we already see the shootings. We already see the anger happening everywhere, right? And it's not about like trusting in the government to take care of it. It's not about trusting in somebody else, an outside source, to be able to fix the problem and fix the anger problem. I think it's more about looking at what our anger is personally and recognizing where our accountability and responsibility is for that. You know, I've been saying so much, the Saturn is sextile Chiron. We're still there. We're still there. We're still under that. And that Saturn sextile Chiron 100% means that it was not your fault that you were wounded. It was not your fault that you went through trauma, but it is 100% your responsibility to heal it so that you don't place trauma and wounding on somebody else and perpetuate it and continue. That's why I'm tasked with healing generations of trauma so that my children don't feel it. I'm tasked with healing this generation and past generations' trauma so that my children don't feel what I had to feel. And so on and so forth. And however, whether you were the one that was tasked to heal the generational trauma, if you are watching me, you probably were. And that sure seems unfair too, doesn't it? But that's the thing, is it's not even about whether it's fair or not. It's about whether it is. I mean, it just is. There's no other way to look at it except for it just is. And if we try to keep on questioning the why do we have to go through this, and why do I have to feel anger, and why am I being, I was down that hole of like, me, why do I deserve to go through this? Of all people in this world, why do I deserve to go through this? And I think it's not about whether you deserve it or not. Nobody deserves it. Nobody deserves it. I don't care who you are. Nobody deserves this. It's about what you chose to learn. And for me, it's about what I chose to learn so that I could pass it along. And I even found anger in that. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And it's not about why I was chosen. It's just that I was to be this person, to have this, and to pass it on, and to let other people know that they're not alone. So this solar eclipse is the release, the end of that cycle, the end of needing to believe what you were conditioned to believe as a child. You're being given permission to let go. Just let go of the past. Holding on to anger and not allowing it to move through you creates more dis-ease. When you're stressed out and your body is already under a lot of stress from not feeling right, feeling unwell, and your mind is stressed out and your emotions are stressed out and everything is stressed out, you're not going to heal. You're not going to heal. And so you have to let that move through you and let yourself witness it and let yourself sit in it. Even if you're not somebody who's sick, even if you're just somebody that feels anxiety. And that's a mental illness as well. So there's just all of the things, right? At any time that you feel the uncomfortable emotions, you have to know that the best way for that to leave your system and not get stuck is by letting it move through you and feeling it. And that can be really, really hard to do. So let the solar eclipse do this. Let the solar eclipse energy help you do this. Just let it be. Listen to what the energy is telling you. If you're feeling tired, then rest. If you're feeling like you want to get things done, then get things done. If you're feeling anxious, go for a walk, get some fresh air, do something that brings you joy. If you are, happy, then great. Show happiness to other people. We need to see that. We need to see the love. We need to see the happy. We need to see the good. So it's not an easy road that we all chose to be here during this time. It's not an easy road to be on. But it's so interesting to watch how communities are being built out of love and not out of fear. And people are coming together. And I think that if we recognize that a little bit more, that there is hope out there, the anger wouldn't be wouldn't be so tough, you know, it wouldn't be so hard on us. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday. I promise you I'm going to get these readings done. I'm shooting to get them done this weekend, but please be patient with me. This eclipse has been kicking my ass as well. But I felt like I needed to get that message out because I feel like somebody needed to hear it. And I love you all. And thanks for your support and hanging out. Bye.